people of the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here, and obviously it's Monday. It's another collection. So we're on to 51. So yes, this is the next shelf down of the anime series. So this is halfway through. Obviously we're getting close there. I know you're all probably worrying. I know I've hinted at a few series. There is one I definitely will start building into. Start working on the future cases. But anyway, you've come here to see this, so we'll get into it now. So here we are covering these two shelves today. Obviously, bear with me. Obviously, everything's crammed in, so it may take a little while. So we finished last time with Death Note. Obviously, I haven't finished that run, but I have watched it. So here we start off. So this is one I watched as a teenager as well. This is Detonator Organ. So this is kind of a human that is kind of part robot. His name is Tomorrow Shindu. I watched this about 3 or 4 times before I realised the character's name is Tomorrow. I always thought they were talking about, tomorrow Shindu will do this. So the case is a little bit bad at the back, so I probably wouldn't get round to replacing that. Next one, I did really enjoy that as well. As I say, I am a big fan of mecha and robots and stuff, and the kind of transforming does work really well. So this one up, so this is Devil May Cry. This is an anime based off the computer game series. Obviously Dante there. I think he's the son of Devil. It's been a long time since I played the games, and obviously he has his sword and his gun, and he's kind of a bounty for hire against the devil and everything else. I cannot remember if I've watched this. I think I may have done. As you see, I have so much, but it's if I did, I watched it when I first got it, and it's been so long that I cannot remember it. I say, looking at it, it's all right. It kind of Castlevania's got a series, and it's a similar sort of animation style, which is all right. Not necessarily my favourites. Then we have DNA Angel. I have watched this, so this is kind of a Fallen Angel type series. Again, it's the first volume 1. As you see, I have a lot of volume 1s. It's kind of if you can pick them up cheap, it's always good to find it, buy it, watch it. If you like it, then look to pick up the series however you feel is best. And I will explain that, and then obviously we move on to obviously a big series called Dragon Ball Z. So this actually comes in many different series. So there was an original series called Dragon Ball, so it didn't have the Z on it. And this is where you have the main protagonist, Goku, as a child. And it's basically him growing up. So I watched all of this on TV and stuff back in the day, and I bought this to rewatch it all. As you see, a lot of it is sealed because I've just not got round to see it. They have a long, it doesn't have something called filler, so the story is complete, but the fights can be like 5, 6, 7 hours long, and that can obviously wear you out. So this is Vegeta. So basically it's an alien race, and that's Goku. So this is the follow-up to when he was a child. So this is him as an adult, and basically members of his race, which are called Saiyans, come into Earth, and then it's him kind of battling and stuff like this. So we have volume 1 there. This is where it's going to get a bit awkward. Apologies. So I think there are 8 or 9 volumes in this. So this is volume 2. These are, I believe, foreign versions. That's why they are slightly different with again, still sealed, as you can see. This is one of the protagonists. This is called Frieza. So obviously, as I believe, obviously, Goku or Kakarot and Vegeta, they are Japanese for vegetables and stuff. And obviously, then he's called Frieza. His brother is called Cooler, and his dad is called King Cold. So you kind of get themes there, whether it's picked up. This is Vegeta's son, so there is Vegeta. This is Trunks. He comes from the future, so there is time travel involved in this as well. Obviously, he brings with him this guy. So this is Cell, and they go through many forms. So as you will see here, Imperfect and Perfect Cell Saga. So yeah, he's kind of an alien from the future. You get androids and aliens and stuff like this, but it's just basically a lot of fighting. And then the last volume that I have in this series, obviously 7 isn't the last one, and that is Piccolo. So he is what is called a Namek. So he is an alien, and his race created these Dragon Balls. You put the Dragon Balls together and you can make a wish. That's basically when you put them together, they create this dragon called Shenron. So if you see here, that's the dragon that appears, and they're the little Dragon Balls there. So after we had Dragon Ball Z, there was Dragon Ball GT. It was not regarded very well, so I don't own it. Then recently, or in the past few years, I've gone into this new series called Super. So I haven't watched it because I haven't got it all yet. So there's Volume 1, obviously a gold Frieza. Obviously, what they do is you have kind of the good guys fighting the bad guys, and then they also have tournaments, and this is more about a tournament and kind of demons and gods fighting in it and fighting for their realms. Obviously we have Trunks there, Volume 4 that I bought 2 of because I'm an idiot. Obviously Trunks. So this is Vegeta and Goku together, so those earrings help them kind of merge together, which is another. And then this is an alien, I don't know his name. Right, let me try and then put this all back together. So, as you can, I have quite a lot of it, and I have seen a lot of it, but I don't own it all. Let's put 2. Let's just put 1 there. That makes it a little bit easier for now. So let's move this stuff there. So next, obviously, I do have season 10 or volume 10. This is the final one of this arc before there is a new series. So you can see I have 1. So I'm missing 3, 5, 7, 8. So I'm only missing 4 volumes. Obviously, in between all this, there was a lot of movies. So I think there's like 20 odd movies from Dragon Ball from like the 80s up until now. So this is Broly. So this is a character that kind of appears in it from time to time. Here's another Saiyan or an alien. These are newer ones. So these kind of bridge the gap from Dragon Ball Z to Super. So he is a cat god. So this is basically introducing the gods and introducing a kind of evolution of the superheroes. I did not think this through. Right, let's put that there. That's probably the best way to do it. So then we have Resurrection S, so Resurrect Frieza. So this is where they bring back Frieza from the dead. This happens quite a lot. Obviously a nice cover. Then we have Broly. So I saw this at the cinema. This is great. So this is those 3 trilogies here. This is a newer incarnation of him. They kind of rewrite his story a little bit. Then you have an older one. So this is quite an old Dragon Ball Z movie. It's all right. I say they've done so many. They're a little hit and miss. And then I have this volume as well, which has a few other movies. I don't have them all. I do have a fair few. Right, then after this, we have another great series. So this is from the 2010 series. So this is Dr. Stone. So this is where the world is basically all turned to stone. And then thousands of years, they awake. This is Senku. He's the main protagonist, and he's a very smart guy. Most of these are actually the current humans, because obviously there is no technology, and he basically teaches people how to make stuff from scratch, and it's very educational, and there isn't an anime like that. So that was series 1 part 1, and this is series 2 part 2. The space people here, so this learning that his relatives, and specifically his dad, obviously not everybody was frozen, they went to space, and we don't kind of know everything yet. Currently been 3 series, there's a 4th series on the way, and that's the final one. So that's probably everything fits a little neater into here. So we will go. Then we have this one. So Eden of the East. This is where a young lad wakes up naked with a phone, and he doesn't know where it is. And it's basically he's a group of people who, when you are given this phone, you are kind of some sort of special agent, and you have a massive amount of money that you can spend. But once you spend it, then you're killed, and obviously you have to do tasks and stuff with the corresponder on the phone. There is a second series and a film, or 2 films that kind of correlate as a second series. It's one complete story, so this is half of it, so it's really annoying that I'm missing the final bit. Right, so then we have another series that is complete. So this is Elemental Jaleid. So this is basically a young lad who kind of has this weapon, and then he goes on kind of this epic journey. Again, it's one they kind of put into 5 sections. So there's the main protagonist. I watched this a long time ago. I enjoyed it. It's not the greatest anime in the world. I will definitely give that. Obviously, we have volume 3. So with each of these, you kind of meet some of the characters. Volume 4, I'll put some stuff back in there because it's easier. Volume 5, other characters that they meet along the way and kind of their little journey. And then finally, volume 6, obviously the 2. Right, then we go to here. So this is a kind of nothing. So where you can buy like all of these series episodes together, and they can cost quite a lot. You will find if you look from other countries, they do like this box set. And obviously they don't really have the genuine barcode, but basically has every single episode that was done. Obviously I recently bought a movie to this because I didn't realise there was one. And it basically has all the episodes condensed onto DVDs. I've used this quite a few times because it's quite good. I use it for Super Sentai. So there we go. Following that up, obviously we have Eureka 7. So it's a young lad who finds this kind of robots. And then his adventures with that and joining the group. I quite enjoyed this. Obviously, I found the first volume cheap, and then I have bought the movie, but I haven't watched the rest of the series, so I don't know if I can watch the movie yet. Right. Then we go here. It's XL Saga. Never seen it. Again, it's one of these volume ones that I pick up. There we go. So this is another series that is on my list. Let's move those out of the way for now. And then we can do it like that. So this is Fairy Tail. Obviously, I just recently watched one of the films for this, which is there. So this is about Natsu. He is part dragon, and this is Fairy Tail is the guild, and that's what it's about. It's kind of olden time where you have these guilds of sorcerers, and they do challenges and kind of competitions and stuff. It's all right. It's a fun watch. I don't find it the greatest, but I do enjoy it. So we have volume 1 there, volume 2. Let's just. Then we have obviously volume 3, volume 3? No, volume 5. Have I missed volume 2? Okay, let's see. Obviously, this collects episode 48. I want to say this. Oh, there you go, 49. So yeah, so you can get the Blu-rays as half a season, or the DVDs have 2 kind of collection. As it says, collection 2 is actually 2 of these volumes together. So that's essentially volume 1 and 2, volume 3 and 4, and then obviously we have 5, 6, 7, 8, and I think there's another 4 or 5, and then obviously we have the 1 movie there. So let's twist that around. Yeah, these shelves just aren't big enough. I didn't plan this out well. Then we have, obviously, if you've seen Final Fantasy, they did a series. It doesn't, there's elements from the games in here, but it's, again, it was enjoyable. It's one of the first kind of animes I kind of got into, and that's why I picked it up. So volume 1 there. Obviously, Final Fantasy, the spirit within, a great animated achievement and involvement of how stuff goes on. And then we have 2 others. So this is Final Fantasy Advert Children. So this is based or follow-up from the game of 7, which is very highly regarded. Again, really nice animation and quite a good story. And then we have Kingsglaive, which is a later one. I'm not sure if it's actually linked to one of the later games because I stopped playing it about 10. But it was all right. I have watched a digital copy of it. So then we go to here. So this massive section is, as you will see, you have Full Metal Alchemist. So a very big fan of this. All the books are there. That's everything. So as I've said before, obviously when they start doing it, they start doing these books. So the person who did all of these books didn't complete it. So there's 27 volumes, and they didn't finish it when they did this series. So the story starts the same as the books, and then as it goes on, it's takes like a sidestep. So this ending isn't the ending that's in the books. It's something else, and this is where it was regarded as a good series. Obviously, you can see it's only 51 episodes, and I have all the volumes there. Obviously, this is Edward Elric. It's all about alchemy, which is kind of science-y magic. And there's his brother. That is, his soul is trapped inside a suit of armor. And I'm dropping stuff. This is the problem with... I won't need to go through them all because you can kind of see I have them all there. So this was what the original series they'd done in the early 2000s, and this is a movie that they then did for it. Now, obviously, this series, the books weren't complete, so this story deviates, and this is where fans like this, but they thought it wasn't true to the story. So what they did is about another 10 years later, they did Brotherhood, which this actually follows the books. Line for line, more or less, keeps within it. Obviously, they condensed them down. So this is where you have kind of two, even though it's kind of the same story, there are deviations. I think it's the same voice actors and stuff. So this Colonel Mustang, he can produce fire. I think this is Lay, I think his name is, if I can remember right. He is from another country. It's very, very interesting. It takes on a kind of very rugged, olden style Germany, and I used it because that's kind of where it's originated from, even though it's done by Japan. And obviously, if you like sorcery and magic and stuff, and the brothers are really good, and they have a rule called equivalent exchange, which is, I say I have a few figures. They fight these bad guys, which are called homunculus, and there's obviously some of the figures there. So followed up, we have Gagard. So again, a kind of another mecha series with humans kind of piloting and helping out. We've got the first 2 volumes. I think there's 3 or 4 altogether. Unfortunately, never got that. And then we have Gantz. This is where people are kidnapped. They wake up in kind of this world wearing these suits and guns, and basically they've got to fight to kill each other and survive. Kind of battle royale. Then, if you are a fan of Battle of the Planets, so this is obviously Gatchaman is what actually it was in Japan, and this is kind of one of the movies, or an OVA is what they call it. So this is quite good, quite stylish. I've done quite a few variations of this, but obviously as you'll see, it's Gatchaman in their language, and obviously we got Battle of the Planets. Then we have Generator Gual. So again, it's kind of a boy who has kind of a robotic armor and fights against aliens. Obviously there are 4 volumes for this, which is a bit unusual to have. I think that 4 is what all they did. Maybe it's like 3 or 4 episodes per disc. Yeah, it's 3 episodes. So they really stretched it out back in the day to make you pay for... Right. Then we have Ghost in the Shell. So people, obviously Scarlett Johansson, and remember that they did a live action. This is the anime it comes from. Again, it was quite groundbreaking at the time, and is a great series. It went on to do a lot of other series, which you'll see here. I had bits of it. I weren't the biggest fan of the series. I did enjoy the film. So there's 2. And obviously we have the Laughing Man, which is kind of a virus that takes over stuff. And then the Standalone Complex. So this is kind of the series that they had. Obviously, as you can see, it's only 4 episodes, and it's not like volume 1. Cool. Then we go on to Gravion. So again, it's humans piloting the giant robots to battle evil bad guys. Again, 3 volumes. I think 4 episodes per volume. And that, again, like my mecha, so always have to have this, and it was a short one. Then we have Gungrave. So I think this was recently made into an Xbox and PlayStation game. I quite enjoyed this first volume. Again, picked it up, but the other volumes are quite expensive. And again, Gunsword, very similar to the other one, but mecha. And he has, I think, a big cross on his back that has guns. Again, I enjoyed this, but picking up the other ones are really hard, expensive, and there's like 6 volumes, so you spend like a lot of money. Then the final one for this is Get Backers. So this is about two lads who have a recovery service. So he used to be part of a gang, and obviously he can produce lightning, and the other guy's quite intelligent. They basically do missions where they get somebody loses something and they go pick it up. That is kind of the story. They kind of are based in a cafe. And then as time goes on, you get to meet several. They have a few missions to start doing it, and then the gang that the main protagonist was in league with start to come back into it. Took me a long time to pick all these volumes up, and it spent a lot of money. And then obviously they did a cheaper pack of everything combined. So whether I upgrade to that, you can see a lot of them are sealed. I have not finished this. Again, I watched it back in the day. I think I got to about volume 5. And then they were just so expensive, and I was saving up for a house or a flat at the time, so I didn't get to see that. And then finally this one, and that's the complete series, and that's what we have for this episode. And there we go, that has been episode 51. Hope you're enjoying the series. Apologies that it's coming to an end, but I have a few new series for you, so hopefully you'll enjoy them. But yeah, otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. Hope you enjoyed the video and the series, and I shall see you in the next one.